and welcome to Japanese Craft Beer Reviews. Today we have a special edition. I am here with Al in Japan. Hello, Al.
Hi, everybody.
And Al and I went fishing the other day, and we went up to a lake called Lake Biwa, which is the largest lake in Japan. And we fished all afternoon. And how many fish did we catch, Alan?
I think the normal average.
Yeah, which is zero, zilch,
Zero.
no fish, none. However, we did spot something on the way back home. We suddenly saw a sign for Hikone Brewing, and we caught a few beers. And today we're going to review those beers. We actually have three to review. Today we will do just one. And in the next video, we'll do the second one and then the third one. But first, a little bit about Hikone Brewing. Hikone Brewing was founded in 2019. And so they've been open about 3-4 years now. And they're located in Ishidera-cho, Hikone, which is just south of Hikone proper. And Hikone is on the east side of Lake Biwa. It is about halfway up or so. It's famous as a castle town. It has a castle that was rebuilt, and it's adjacent to Sone Swamp, or Sone Uma. And the brewery actually opened in 2021. And apparently on their website, they state that they are a collaboration between the community, a university, and the brewery itself. And there are three universities in the area, and I'm not sure which one they're collaborating with, but I assume they get some support from the university and from the local government. They claim that they want to use 100% Hikone grown local ingredients. However, the beers that we will be drinking do feature malts, especially from other areas. And another notable fact is that this brewery is female run. Several breweries in the Kansai region, for example, Mino and Heiwa Craft in Wakayama, are run by women, and also Hikone is as well. And so the brewer is named Kojima Nagisa, and the manager of the brewery is also a woman. So we stopped in their tap room, and I'll try to include a few photos here of that. And the tap room is open Monday, Thursday, and Friday from 11 to 5 p.m. and on Saturday and Sunday and holidays from 11 to 6. And it is closed on Tuesday and Wednesday, but it's certainly the best place to get the full range of beers, as well as some limited offerings. Rate Beer lists only 4 beers for this brewery, Hikone Brewery, and Untapped has 17 different beers. So Alan, we were in the brewery, and it was very close to where we were fishing. And any impression about the brewery?
Well, it's very is sort of somewhat impressive in that it's very new looking. The wood is quite nice. It's we walked in, they had, I'm not sure, maybe about nine bottles or so, 9 or maybe a little bit, maybe 10 bottles that we could get to take away. We wound up just taking 3 away each, and then they have their regular lineup of about 4 or 5, and then we went for the beers that were really kind of special, more limited releases. The one thing that kind of struck me right immediately was that the sample sizes, like pretty expensive, to be honest. Like 500 yen for the small size and so on. But I think it's kind of I think it's worth it. Just maybe drink a little less. And if you're driving, as you were that day, you can't really drink that much. So, I figured it's still worth sampling a bit. So, so we came away with, since we didn't catch any fish, we caught the beers, right?
That's right. We caught some beers, and And yeah, so it was kind of an impressive, a small building, but the design was very nice, and it's set up against the hillside. Very, very beautiful location for the
Yeah.
beer, for the brewery. And but since I was driving, yeah, we could not sample there. They did have several taps available.
Mm.
And I should mention that there currently, to my knowledge, there are six different breweries in Shiga Prefecture, and those are Nagahama, Diamond Brewery, Biwako Beer, Hino Brewing, and today Omi Bakushu, and Hikone, which we will review here, and Two Rabbits. So, and most of them have not been going for a long, long time at all. So, except for Nagahama since maybe 1997. The others are much, much newer. So, and I think from my experience, I've had the one I've had most is Two Rabbits, and they're quite professional, I think, in their approach to brewing. Okay, so shall we get into the first beer?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Hello, and here we are now with the first beer from Hikone Brewing. It is called Hikone Brewing Biwako Ale. And this beer is a pale ale. It's a fruited one. We'll talk about the fruit in a minute. 5.5%, 8 international bittering units only. And this beer costs 660 yen at the brewery. And that would translate into $4.20, or if you're using euros, that would be 3.85 euros. Okay, Alan, said you wanted to talk about the lake?
Yeah, I thought this is kind of nice because we have the lake right on the label. So right there. Yeah, just a little bit of trivia. The southern part of the lake down here, Otsu is kind of down at the bottom. And then we went up on the east side where Hikone's over here, basically. There's a lot of there's a lot of fields, and there's kind of lots of resorty areas on the east side.
Actually,
more
Hikone
sort of
right where the Hikone sign is, right about here.
That would make sense. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, he. Okay. Yes, that's right. It's backward on the the way we're holding it. So, right. But yeah. Anyways, so yeah, in this the little part of the lake, the southern part is only about 8 meters deep apparently, whereas the larger northern part is up to 100 meters deep. And just a little bit of fishing trivia that the largest largemouth bass ever caught. Well, actually, there was a tie. One was caught at Lake Montgomery in Georgia about 70 some years ago. And also in 2010, a Japanese bass fisherman caught a 22-pound, 4-ounce bass, a very fat monster. And you can see that kind of online if you want to check out what it looks like. Big belly on that thing. Anyways, that was caught from Lake Biwa, and it is estimated that the world's largest bass probably lives in Lake Biwa at this point.
Interesting. Yeah. So Biwa, Lake Biwa, as we mentioned before, is the largest lake in Japan, and I have read that it's also one of the oldest lakes in Japan. It used to be much larger, spread out over a larger area, and over time. Tectonic shifts, and so it settled into its current location. And Biwa is also the source of water for many communities in the Kansai region, definitely. So places as far as Osaka will get their drinking water from Lake Biwa. Okay, so yeah, a lot of bass in that lake. Unfortunately, we didn't catch any. Maybe next time.
Yep. Next time for sure. We have a new strategy, but we'll talk about that on a different web there.
Okay. Rate beer, no reviews whatsoever for this. It wasn't even listed. On Untapped, there were only 3 ratings. So this beer is kind of beneath the radar, or maybe if you're bass fishing, beneath the sonar. Let's talk about the ingredients here. This features amanatsu, and some of you may know that Japan is well known, or has a wide variety of citrus fruits, In fact, it's probably kind of one of the secrets of Japan. People know about sushi and things like that, but citrus fruits, a lot of different citrus fruits you can get in the market here. Amanatsu is one of them. It's kind of like a grapefruit with a thinner peel, but also kind of a tough skin on the segments and a lot of seeds in it. It's one of the less expensive sorts of citrus fruit. And this one includes Amanatsu, which were grown by a Mr. Nishikawa of Ishidera, which is where Hikone Brewing is located, and apparently they're pesticide-free as well. And the malt includes malt from the UK, Germany, and Japan. And it also contains hops, but not a lot. And carrageenan, which is a kind of fining agent, which is put into the beer to help clarify it.
Comes from seaweed, actually, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. The one that many brewers might be familiar is isinglass, which is from fish bladders. I don't know.
That's the other one, yeah.
Something I would put into my beer, but it's supposed to be a fining agent for it. Okay. Well, what do you think, Al? Should we get into this one?
Well, let's open her up and see how it looks here. I've never had a Hikone beer. How about you, Neville?
I've had one, I think, in the past. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't really make a dent in, at all. I don't remember it. One thing I'd like to say is Hikone Brewing has their own caps, and I appreciate that. Some craft brewers go years without making their own caps. They use the generic homebrewers caps, which are sold in Japan. But I kind of feel it's nice that you have a brewery, you should have caps.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
We have liftoff. Or no, we don't have liftoff.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay. And
just like this exercise.
Okay, we're going to give this one a go here.
All right, here we go. Oh, mine's a little foamy.
Little foamy, yes, indeed.
But mine's warmed up just a little bit. I've had it out for 15 minutes or so. Okay. All
right. Well, what do we got here? Okay,
wow.
It is very, very pale blonde, which is not the way it appears to you. But I'll put some light behind it here. And
yeah, the light's coming through a little bit over here.
You can see the carbonation kind of fast and furious in this glass, which gives rise to a head like this. So kind of a snowy sort of head. The aroma, Al?
Yeah, it's quite aromatic. It really leaps out of the glass. So that's a good sign. And you get some kind of citrus. I would never be able to identify it as Amanatsu, but
there is a light citrus tinge.
You do get something that's kind of like
a bit perfumey, a little bit.
I mean, that's
spritzy in the nose.
Well, I better give it a taste here.
To my mind, it's not a very impressive nose, but something a little bit. What do you think? I don't know. A little bit. The citrus is there, but something green.
Yeah, it reminds me of the peel. Amanatsu, if I remember, is kind of I find it to be it can be kind of sour and bitter.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Just it's not particularly sweet. I think the one thing you can say for it is it's not the most expensive of citrus fruits, and it is one of those that is not so friendly in the sense of, it's easy eating with it's not seedless, and it's got the bitter character, and is also fairly tart.
Yeah. So I think it is. It seems like sort of halfway between a grapefruit and some kind of maybe. Yeah,
and it's got its own little twist as well. So it's
okay. All right, I'm going to give this a go.
All right. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah, for me, the fruit pretty much dominates. It's kind of a nice summer drink. It's got the acidity. Um, the malt is really in the background.
Very much so.
It's there, maybe balancing it just a little bit, taming the fruit a bit, but yeah, it's very much
overall,
fruit forward.
I think the citrus comes out much more than the malt.
It's certainly not. It's not a fruit bomb, but it's a lighter. It's kind of a light style. I think you could drink. You could drink this pretty quickly, I think.
Yeah, 5.5%. Yes, the international bitter units 8. It was just kind of low. I mean, even for a pale ale.
I was surprised that they're and the next one that another one that we're going to do later on is also quite low. And so I'm wondering if that's actually a characteristic of the breweries, since I haven't, later on, maybe we'll have to talk about that. But look at these are not part of the regular lineup.
No, they're not.
They have the Weizen Pale Ale and
Porter.
IPA Porter and a red, which is interesting for the regular lineup. But
yeah, this one definitely. I guess they're trying to feature the fruit. Yeah, I think this is tolerable.
Yeah, it's got a floral thing to it. It's a little thin on the palate, but again, I think for summer drinking, I would forgive it. These hot days are coming up here, and it's fine with me if it's a little bit on the slightly watery side's okay for me.
It is.
Yeah. It's not a full-bodied fruit bomb by any means, or
no, it's not
the IPA or anything.
It is quite thin. Even except for the 5.5% alcohol, like this could be. I mean, if they lower the alcohol, it could be a radler, kind of lemon beer sort
interesting.
of.
Yeah, interesting. The carbonation is just about right, I think. That's one thing I would give them a compliment on. It's just right.
You're so generous now.
Carbonated. What's that?
You're so generous.
Spur of the moment. What can I say? Yeah, I think for summer drinking, this was, and that bitterness and tartness come through. The bitterness kind of lingers a little bit, just like, when you eat one of those amanatsu, oranges.
Yeah. How would you translate amanatsu?
I would just say it's an orange, and it literally, what actually means, well, I don't know, are the kanji, I've actually not seen the kanji. I've only seen the kana, and so I mean, ama I think of maybe sweet, and natsu is summer.
Sweet summer.
Is that what it means? That's the
natsu summer. So yeah, am I?
Yeah.
Sweet?
Well, I probably. Yeah. I think generations past, this might be relatively sweet, right, compared to lemons or grapefruit pop. But our standards have changed. We demand more sugar.
We demand more sugar. Yes. So, Alan,
I think I have to rate
this. What would you rate it at?
Boy, maybe a 3 or something. I don't.
Maybe I think 3 would be generous for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being a little maybe on the nice side, but. This is really drinkable. I almost think of it as a session. It's more like a very
even though it's not session strength, it was
the alcohol is not noticeable probably until about the fifth one that you've downed. So
okay, so I think I could rate this maybe around 2.8 to 3 perhaps, generously. The standards have certainly risen. People are making excellent beer, even fruity pale ales, and I think they might up their game a little bit.
Yeah, it's thin. I think that's, like I say, it could be a plus or a minus depending. And summer drinking, you may not want the Guinness or an imperial stout, but it is thin. But I have to admit that the bitterness in the fruit, I'm getting more that bitterness is lingering and building.
It comes
And so
out.
there is an taste, and very dry, and that makes it kind of adds to that little. A little bit of what is it? Astringency, basically.
Yeah. Touch of astringency. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is what it is, and I think we've probably given it its due. It's done justice to this beer. And
Yep, I think so.
Wrap it up here. Once again, this is called Hikone Brewing Biwako Ale, and it's a pale ale fruited with Amanatsu, 5.5%, and 8 international bittering units. And I think Al might like it a little bit more than I do, but it certainly is an acceptable summer drink. So if you happen to see this, and if you live around in the Kansai region, you might see it.
Give it a try. What the heck?
Give it a try, and let us know what you think about it.
Yeah,
okay, leave a comment.
It won't blow it away, but yeah.
Okay, and please do subscribe to.
Yeah, if you've had any of their beers, I'd be interested because, like I said, yeah,
absolutely. Please do let us know. Okay, well, that is it for today. Thank you very much, Al. Thank you, Al. And
you betcha.
We will review a couple more of these beers in our next sequence. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Yes.